very important incidents of the history are noted. That's all. So here, this is very important incident, and this did not happen in Vayaswata Manvantara. We are in Vayaswata Manvantras, and that too in the 27th cycle of Divya Yuga. That means before this, within this Manvantara, Vayaswata Manvantara, already 26 cycles of 4 yugas are completed. And but this is incident which we are hearing now. It is happening in Swayambhu Manvantara. We are in the 7th. So this is the first Manvantara. The first Manvantara's incident is explained here. If you take the time span, it's quite a huge time. Now, this is how we should understand that, because history is not there, but important incidents are there. So here, when Kardamuni and Devahuti's marriage is there, this is a very, very important. Why it is important? Because the consciousness, how they maintained it, and how the Supreme Lord appeared because of them, this is what is explained. Now, for Grihasthas, they should know, okay, this is what to be done. Any activity we pay and then only enjoy. This is another very important principle. We are paying for the product, but not for the enjoyment. There are two different payments. You pay for that's what is yajna meant for. I have all the items, but again I do yajna and then only I enjoy. The vivaha yajna. It's not that, okay, live in relationship or just boy and girl, they are just enjoying. No, yajna is like a payment. You pay for it and then you take. So here, Kardamuni and Kardamuni, he just did not, he directly worshipped the Supreme Lord, pleased him, and then now he is going to get Devapati. But after getting also, he's just not going for honeymoon, he's going for tapasya. We'll see what Kardamuni does. So Maitre Vacha Evam Aviskrita Sesha Guna Karmodhayo Munim Svirid Ivam Tam Samrad Upartam Uvachaha. Maitreya said, after describing the greatness of emperor's manifold qualities and activities, the sage became silent and feeling modestly addressed him as follows. Manu replied, to expand himself in Vedic knowledge, Lord Brahma, the personified Vedas, and from his face created you, the Brahmanas, who are full of austerity, knowledge, and mystic power, and are averse to sense gratification. This is what is a Brahmana. Brahmana means he should be austere, he should have full of knowledge. Mystic power need not be, but at least he should be averse from sense gratification. Means that is a byproduct. Mystic power is the product of austerities and sense control. If this is not there, it's not by birth, he's a Brahmana. This is a quality. This is what Prabhupada writes. The purpose of Vedas is to propagate the transcendental knowledge of absolute truth. The Brahmanas are created from the mouth of the Supreme Person, and therefore they are meant to spread the knowledge of Vedas in order to spread the glories of Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, all the Vedas are meant for understanding Supreme Personality of God. Vedas sarve ahameva. It is especially mentioned here. Yoga yuktana alampata. That Brahmanas are full of mystic powers, are completely averse to sense gratification. Actually, there are two kinds of occupation. One occupation in the material world is sense gratification, and other occupation is spiritual activity to satisfy the Lord by His glorification. We should be in the second category. Those who engage in sense gratification are called demons, and those who spread the glories of the Lord are and satisfy the transcendental senses of Lord are called demigods. We are in between. Sometimes we satisfy Lord, sometimes our sense gratification. It is especially mentioned here that the Brahmanas are created from the face of the cosmic personality or Virata Purusha. Similarly, the Kshatriyas are created from the arms, Vaishyas from the waist, Sudras from the legs. So here when it is said from Brahma, Lord Brahma means here it is indicating Virat Rupa. And दत्ताना यास्रजच्चाश्मान् दोषसहस्रात् सहस्रपात् तदयं तस्य हि ब्रह्मा क्षत्रम् अङ्गं पचक्षते. For the protection of the Brahmanas, the thousand-legged Supreme Being created us, that is Kshatriyas, from his thousand arms. That means because it is indicating Virat Rupa. Hence, the Brahmanas are said to be his heart and Kshatriyas his arm. Kshatriyas are especially meant to maintain the Brahmanas because if the Brahmanas are protected, then the head of civilization is protected. Brahmanas are supposed to be head of the social body. If the head is clear and has not gone mad, then everything is proper, is in proper position. This is the problem in the present in society. There are no Brahmanas. Whatever rules that are made in the, what do you say, the assembly or for different parliament, for different countries, there are different ways. But they are made by elected people. Problem is they don't take guidance from Brahmanas. And they are all either Vaishyas or Kshatriyas. They are in between Vaishyas and Kshatriyas who gets elected. Very few Brahmanas go there. Because they don't have Brahmana intelligence, it won't work. Of course, they're supported by the bureaucrats who are Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. So, but problem is they don't have any standard of scriptures. The Lord is described thus, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahman Hitaya. The purport of this prayer is that Lord specifically protects the Brahmanas and cows, and then he protects all other members of society. Jagat Hithaya. It is his will that universal welfare work depend on the protection of cows and Brahmanas. Thus, Brahmanical culture and cow protection are the basic principles of human civilization. Kshatriyas are especially meant to protect the Brahmanas, as is the supreme will of Lord. Go Brahmana Hitayacha. That is the purpose of Kshatriyas is to protect Brahmanical culture. Kshatriyas are more like the whole body. Even though the whole body is bigger than the heart is important. अतो हि अन्योन्यमात्मानं ब्रह्मक्षत्रं च रक्षतः रक्षति समाप्ययो देवो स यः सद् असद् आत्मकः. That is why the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas protect each other as well as themselves. And the Lord Himself is both the cause and effect and is yet immutable, protects them through each other. Now Prabhupada is giving the structure. How the structure is there in Varnashram. The Varnashram is a cooperative system. This is very, very important. Try to understand what the important point in Vedic culture and modern culture is. Vedic culture is a culture of cooperation because it is Satuguna. Whereas in modern age, it's a competitive world. There is no cooperation. You just compete because it is passion. That's why we always have competitions, exams, and from childhood only we have to compete, compete, compete. And everywhere there is a competition because there is no cooperation. Cooperation, we in Vedic culture, everybody has their own place and it is already fixed. So nobody is in anxiety about what is my future or job profile or future perspectives. This is no much problem there because that is fixed. Mostly whatever occupation the father is having, the child will continue. In that way, there is no problem for them. They continue the occupation. They they like no, if somebody is say he is having occupation of a weaver or his occupation is a teacher, his occupation like he is an accountant under the king. He knows the son will come, he will take up the job. The father goes for retirement after 25 years. the son becomes at the age of 20, 25. The father is already 50. He goes home. He says, "Okay, son, you continue." So there is no much problem in the jobs and all. And all the potters, they will have their sons continuing the business. Weavers will continue their business. Nakshatriyas, they will say, okay, now this villages for this son, this villages for this son, you rule it. So in that way, they divide and they continue their profession. So there is no much anxiety. What will be my future job and all? And they know they have to cooperate with each other because here the Brahmanas, they are intended to produce Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas, they cooperate nicely, and other subordinate divisions, Vaishyas and mercantile people, Shudras, laborers, everybody automatically flourish. The entire elaborate system of Vedic society was therefore based on the importance of Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. There is a cooperation. Not that okay, from childhood only he is put into some coaching centers so that he should crack some competitive exams, cutthroat competition. There's nothing like that. He goes to Gurukul, whatever he can learn, some Vedas or little bit of knowledge is needed, and after that he comes back, continues the business of his father, whatever is there. Some people they remain, they continue as a Brahmana. He knows I just have to read the Vedas and then I'll come, I'll do some service to society. And based on that, somebody will give charity. Is not much bother. I'm a Kshatriya. I'll get some part of the kingdom. Either I'll expand or I'll maintain. That's all. There is no, and then what happens? Because the mind is peaceful, then they can think of higher purpose of life. They can think of self introspection. They can contemplate on the truth, and then they can go ahead in life. This is the system that is given. We have to properly understand the system that it is based on cooperation. It is Sattva. Now it is all competition. You know, from third, fourth class only they have IIT Foundation. If you are if you are in Andhra and Telangana, you will see that there is a IIT Foundation from that age only. All this was only till Dwapara. Yeah, till Dwapara only. Kali Yuga started. Even Kali Yuga, even 1,000 years before also it was like that. After the invasion, Mughal invasion, the invaders came to India, then it got this. It was coming deteriorating, but still there was some system was followed. But 1,000 years back, everything got finished. From there, when their invaders started coming to India, then the system collapsed. Before also it collapsed to great, but at least some remnants were there. Now even remnants are also going away. But don't worry, after Kalki comes, everything will be restored again. So we need not so much bother that what is happening to Vedic culture, and we we want to have some type of culture because it helps to for people to practice Krishna conscious. Otherwise, there is no much benefit.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji pranams.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, you said, as you said, as per the Varnashrama status, they choose their occupation according to the nature. I have this doubt already, Prabhuji, always like, is it allowed to choose like how Dronacharya, being a Brahmana, he was a teacher of the archery and he himself took a role of Kshatriya and fought for Kauravas. Is it allowed, Prabhuji? Like they are supposed to teach Vedas, but why are they doing this act of a Kshatriya?
They can teach because this archery and also Brahmanas can teach it. Like
Huh.
Parshuram is also teaching. Teaching is not a problem, but what mistake Dronacharya did, he participated in the war
That's what.
because he
Is it?
felt,
It's not allowed, right, Prabhuji?
that is the mistake he did. He felt obliged that okay, I ate so much food in their house. Now I have to do for them something. So when some crisis comes, so I should also take part in it. That is the problem if we are obligations. When Shukracharya says, "Oh, I am like no, because I am taking so much, there is an obligation.
Hmm.
We should be Brahmana, that's why should not stay in somebody's house and continue.
Hmm.
Dronacharya should have left. He should have taught and then left. But he continued there. That's why he felt obliged. Like Dhaumya, he is also priest for Pandavas, but he did not
Hmm.
participate in any war or anything. Right?
Okay.
Dronacharya did. Even Kripacharya also did. He's also not supposed to do. And there is a mistake. What happens is it is not their nature. If they do, then it is, of course, Dronacharya is a great personality.
Hmm.
What Brahmana say he is a Kshatriya, and Kshatriya say he is a Brahmana, so he's in between. Brahmana says no, he's not a Brahmana only, he's fighting, he's a Kshatriya. And Kshatriya says no, he's just coming and fighting, but he's a Brahmana, so he's in between. What happens is some cases this is a mistake. Even Ashwatthama is considered Brahmana, but he's
Brahmana.
fighting. Yeah, it is.
Prabhuji, like nowadays, the problem in Kali Yuga is the entire Varnashrama has gone on a reverse order. Like Sudra is taking a role of a Brahmana, taking control of the government, and the Brahmana is working as a Shudra under the Shudra. Like it's like that, Prabhuji, right? In the Kali Yuga now, they're taking salary and working under Shudra. That was the entire civilization has gone like an animalistic civilization.
Everybody, Kali Yuga, almost everybody is working for salaries. Even big CEOs
Hmm.
also, they also take salaries.
Hmm.
Kalpashudra Samba. Problem is that they have some tendencies of a Brahmana, some tendencies of Vaishya, some tendencies of Shudra. So people
Okay.
don't, it's all mixed. But more a person like IAS, IAS officers, they're more tendencies of Brahmana because
Hmm.
they're very intelligent. And their intelligence they are using to serve either Vaishyas or Kshatriyas. They are serving politicians or they're serving big business people. All these business people, they are hiring all these Brahmanas and they are making them work. This is how the system got collapsed. Where
Hmm.
collapsation, where it collapsed is when Brahmana got contaminated. When Brahmana was interested in money,
Money,
then
correct.
what happens is Kshatriyas will think, Arey, we can make better money than Brahmanas because previously, even in the West also, the church was controlling the state
Hmm.
till French Revolution. After the French Revolution, everything collapsed. First is the
Hmm.
Western civilization. It was actually church which used to control the state. That means Brahmanas were telling the Kshatriyas what they should do.
Hmm.
French Revolution, what happened? All these kings and all, they thought, monarch, they thought, Arey, why we have to listen to the church? Because
Hmm.
they have to pay and they have to follow whatever church says and money, everything is in control of them. Then they thought, and when they saw this, the priests and all these fathers, they were corrupt. That made the Kshatriyas lose faith. They said, no, we don't want to follow them.
Hmm.
There is French
Correct,
Revolution.
correct,
And
correct. The degradation happens at the higher level, so the
uh,
entire system got collapsed. Prabhuji,
uh,
one more thing, like we as practicing devotees, sadhakas, when we give our children the devotional training and everything, and when they work and they dovetail all their earnings for the service of the Lord, so we do not fall under all these four varnas, right?
what we have to do, Mataji, we have to tell them to do,
Uh,
which is very easy for
as
them
per
to
the nature.
practice. It's not which
Uh,
job.
okay.
What happens is, if you do any job according to your nature, the
Hmm.
work itself will make you satisfied, not the results.
Got it.
So
Okay.
even in modern culture, modern now scenario, they have this word they use as signature strength.
Okay.
Basically, signature strength is your swabhava, what is according to Varnashrama. Say signatures and what they say is some
Hmm.
activity in your life which
Hmm.
you can do without even getting any result. Also, you like to do that activity. So what they
Hmm.
say is, at least in a week, some hours you do some activity which without any result you want to do it. So in that way you feel very satisfied. Say he's a Brahmana, now he is working as a Shudra. So what
Hmm.
is modern these people say? Okay, you want to teach, maybe you like to teach. So what you do weekly 2 3 hours, you go and teach somebody because he is
Hmm.
doing his swadharma in one way because
Correct.
according to his nature, he feels
Hmm.
satisfied. And now what is happening is I don't like my job. So what I am interested, I am going to a software company. Anyway, I don't like my job. why I'm working, then at least I will get good result now. So I'm interested in result only, not in the work. I'm
Correct.
enjoying the result, and which is the cause of bondage. And
Okay.
everybody is going with results, and they're in bondage. Very few people like their work and just happy with the work, not expecting much
Very
result.
true.
So, which is not possible now. That is why it is possible for them to do Nishkam Karma Yoga, because they say, because the work itself, like say I'm teaching now. Now I'm not
Mm.
bothered how whether 1,000 people are coming or 10 people are coming. I am more happy that I am getting opportunity to teach.
Eat.
If I
Correct.
like teaching, then I am happy that I am able to teach. That itself
Mm.
will make me happy. What I am not so much very much affected by the number how many are attending. So I am satisfied. So then if mind is peaceful, you can nicely think about Lord. But if I am doing some job which I am not meant for, then I am not interested. Or I am not interested in this. Okay, at least number is coming. I don't like teaching.
Ah,
But then I say, okay, 100 people are coming, 1,000 people are coming. Okay, at least I am getting something. So this is the problem comes. So why we should do Shreyam Swadharma Vignaha, do your dharma, because when you do activity which is according to your nature, then you are not so much interested in the result that is coming. So that's how
mm.
people can do Nishkam Karma Yoga, otherwise they cannot do.
Got it, Rose. Thank you so much.
So we should encourage anybody to at least, if if they are doing some job which they anyway not like, but there is no option, they have to do. But they have to do some service in the week or few hours in a week, which is according to their nature. Some people may do deity worship or preaching or something in for the service of Lord without expecting much result. Then that they will happily offer to Krishna. They are very peaceful. And they say a signature strength outside, but we say Swadharma, we say here.
So, Dharma. Correct. Okay, Rose. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Right. Some questions in chat box. Previously, old people were taken care by pension schemes, but now that also gone. All parliament elected people, yeah, this is what is happening is the government is not able to provide because they the number is very big, and then there are so much expectations from people. Previously, people need little simple things, but now they want very sophisticated everything. They want good trains, good roads, good this, good that, and all the money goes in the defense to protect the country. So many demands are there for country, and they have to grow the economy. They have to provide jobs which pays them more. All this money and go. Then there is no money for some welfare schemes. Then they say, okay, forget about it. You make your money and you survive yourself. This is how the system became. It's very complicated. So there is another question. Is Brahmana supposed to teach military acts because spiritual teaching? Brahmanas can teach spiritual science also. They can teach military science also. That is also part of Brahmanas. Another question. Many Brahmanas are working in sanitary field also. Yeah, there are no Brahmanas actually. It is only they are by name only Brahmana. They are born in a Brahmana family, but it is not their. We have to see according to their occupation is a Brahmana or not. If somebody is teaching and is not interested in anything, is just teaching and not expecting anything. Freely he is teaching. That is a Brahmana. And freely teaching spiritual knowledge means they are Brahmanas. They are not expecting anything. Because that is what Brahmanas should. They should live on charity. They should not ask also. That is a good Brahmana, at least by profession. And then are they doing deity worship? Are there kings used to appoint Brahmanas for cooking. kings, because Brahmana is very intelligent. He knows what to cook also. Means every day all the different types of taste should be available to the tongue, which will satisfy and nourish the body and mind. That's why kings used to have Brahmanas. Even with the culture, the temples and all, the Brahmanas used to cook because they know, they're very intelligent. They know what to cook and what quantity to cook and how to cook. So they used to, for kings, Brahmanas were cooking. This is Brahmana's job. Cooking is also. And deity worship also, teaching Vedas. And so there are some professions for Brahmanas like that. So there is a question, why did Dronacharya reject Eklavya though he had innate qualities? Because what happened, Eklavya had qualities of he's a warrior, but he's not having a quality of Kshatriya. So there are two different things. He is very skilled. Skill are Sudras, they are not Kshatriyas. If somebody is very skillful, all these sports players, all these actresses, and all these reality show people, all these people are skilled people. So they are Shudras, they are not Kshatriyas or Brahmanas. Previously, now Ekalavya is also skilled person, but is not a Kshatriya. There are Kshatriya means he should have a quality of Kshatriyas. And uh, the Kshatriya qualities, they are not manifested, then it is very dangerous. If you give some special things to people, why Shudras are not allowed to read Vedas? It is not that there is the discrimination. Say, I'll give an example. If there is ISIS, these militant groups are there, or some Taliban militant groups are there. Now, if they come to some country and they say, we will give you so much money and you can give us nuclear technology. They'll ask India, okay, give us nuclear technology and we'll give you some sufficient money. Any responsible country will not give to these militant groups, Taliban. They say, "Arey, they are not anyway coming to our country, we'll give. They are giving us money." No, even if they pay money also, you don't give them nuclear technology because it is harmful to whole society. It's harmful to the whole countries, so many countries, whole world, it is harmful. Even though they're saying we are qualified to operate it, we have sufficient money, you don't give them because it is dangerous. Similarly, if a person is not having the quality of a Kshatriya, he may be skilled, but he should have qualities. So what happened? Ekalavya make an effigy of Dronacharya and he practices. But it is not Dronacharya who taught him. There are some Yakshas and other subtle living entities who are teaching Ekalavya. And as soon as he received the knowledge, what did Eklavya do? Arjuna and Dronacharya were going in the forest and dog is barking. Immediately Ekalavya took 10 arrows and pierced in the mouth of the dog. Now, such a innocent creature, dog means it will bark. Just have to say no hurt and it goes away. And you are putting 10 arrows in the mouth of a dog. Such a cruel act. Why? He is very skilled, but he don't have compassion. Dronacharya did not give Brahmastra technology to all his students. He gave only to Arjuna. And his son came Ashwatthama. He was so much requesting, give me this, give me this, give me this. Dronacharya, no, with great resistance he gave. He knows because Ashwatthama was not qualified for Brahmastra. He knows Arjuna is qualified. Why? Arjuna has sense control. Even if he is in angry state, he has the discrimination. Even Ashwatthama was captured. Krishna told Arjuna, you kill Ashwatthama. Arjuna did not kill. Just now he killed all his brothers and two brother-in-laws. But Arjuna has so much sense control and restraint. His mind does not get affected by all these lower moods. That is why Dronacharya understood Arjuna is qualified. He didn't, and he knows that his son is not qualified, but out of attachment he gave. Same thing with Eklavya. Not that Dronacharya cannot give. See, Dronacharya is giving the knowledge to Dustadumna. And Dustadumna was born from fire. His father Drupada performed the sacrifice so that he get a son who will kill Dronacharya. And he is directly born from the fire only. So it is very evident that this person is going to kill Dronacharya. And Drupada sends Dustadumna, go to Dronacharya and learn. And Dronacharya knows this fellow is born to kill me. but he's still teaching him the knowledge. He knows Drishtadumna is born to kill me, but still he's giving the knowledge to Drishtadumna, but he's not giving to Eklavya. Eklavya was so much devoted, but Dronacharya said, no, you just give your thumb and that's all. Why? Because for him the knowledge is there, it is very dangerous. But Drishtadumna is qualified, he's a Kshatriya. He can utilize it properly. Dronacharya knows, anyway I'm going to die. But I will do my duty as a Brahmana, as teaching. So I will do as he is a liberal, he is doing, he is giving his knowledge. Because his qualified person is there, I'll give. Unqualified person, I will not give. Qualified person is there, even if he kills me also, anyway I'm going to die one day. Why I should be afraid of death? I will do my duty. So he was doing his duty of a Brahmana. He is not afraid. But for Eklavya, he was so much devoted, but he said, no, no, he is not qualified because he will misuse and it will be harmful for many, many people. So that is the point there. Uh, Okay, okay, Archana Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. It's quite clear now. Thank you so much.
And yeah, there is another question. Why one time, one pastime Lord Rama killed one Shudra who was rejecting, who was reciting Vedas? Yes, same thing. It is, this is, many people, they have this problem. The Shudra is reciting, there is some discrepancy that happens in the kingdom. Immediately they understand there is something wrong is happening. And they come to know Shudra. The point is not that why the Vedas are not given, because there is they misuse it. That's all. If you are not qualified, if you give them, if I am giving some very important technological devices, like now what is happening now, the people are having this technology. You are giving the children all these smartphones with all full internet. What the children are doing, they are not using for some creative purpose. They are misusing. And you see how many students in the colleges, they are just addicted to internet. Whole night they are in the internet and they are spoiling their careers. What is why? Because you are giving them something which they are not qualified for, and they are just misusing. They don't know how to use it. They only misuse. So many children and many nowadays children, they are ending up in psychiatric treatments because they get so much addicted to net. The parents are not able to do anything. They have to take them to psychiatrists, and it is such a common problem now. Why? You are giving them which they are not qualified for. So the Sudra are reciting, if see, if we have Satya Kama Jaba. This Satya Jabala, he goes to Dhaumya Rishi and he says, I want to learn from you. And Dhaumya Rishi says that I only teach Brahmanas. And who are you? He says, I don't know. I'll check with my mother. He goes to his mother and asks Jabala, and tell me who is my father. She says, my dear son, I am a society woman. I associate with many men. I don't know who your father is. He goes and tells to the Umayr the same thing, that my mother said like this. Then I said, oh, because you are speaking the truth, that means you are a Brahmana. So I'll teach you. Now he is not, it's not based on birth, it's based on qualities. No, it is based on qualities that is decided whether you are a Shudra or a Brahmana. It's not by birth. So that is the point. So if somebody is like here we are hearing from Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami is not a high Brahmana family, but everybody is sitting and hearing from him. Why? Because he is qualified. It's not birth that is deciding. Here Shudra means Shudra not by birth, Shudra by quality. That's why. Yeah, the exam, knife in the hand of a such. Understand. This is the this is the point. So anybody who is qualified, he is given knowledge. Like Vidura. Vidura knows all the Vedas. He is born from a Shudra woman. The point is, and everybody respected him. Everybody sitting and hearing from him. So it's not from where a person is born. It is how he is, how much he is understanding and the qualities. And generally what happens is, if somebody did some sinful activities in previous life, and because of the sinful tendency, he will be born in the family of a Shudra. That's how they say Shudra will be a Shudra only. Why? Because why he got a birth in a Shudra family? Because he did wrong, he did something in the previous life, that's why he got birth in it. Otherwise, he could have got birth in the Brahmana family. So that is the argument people give. But there are exceptions. Even somebody will be born there, but still he can have some good qualities also. That, and he can be qualified to become Brahmana. Like here we have Valmiki, we have so many other great personalities. They are born in a low, but they got qualified. We have to be clear that not that there is a discrimination. Chaturvarna Maya system Guna Karma Vivaka. So it's based on quality only. It's not based on birth. Now what happened is, this Varnashram system, they got degraded to caste system. That's why now there is a problem in the society. Previously there was no such no discrimination. Because it degraded, it became caste system, and whole world they criticize India because they have this caste system. But it is not actually, it was a very scientifically evolved system, and this is a perfect system also. And somehow they say now equality. There cannot be equality in the society. Prabhupada writes also in the previous purports also we read. It is not possible only. There will be some administrative class of people, there will be some teaching class of people, there will be some business people, there will be craftsmen. So all the things will be not, that is already settled. Only thing is they are doing according to that nature. But problem here is, presently people don't follow dharma. That is a problem. They don't, if I know what is my occupation, then I go to scriptures, read all the rules which I have to follow, and I peacefully follow. But that is nowhere. No. So people say equality, equality. But if we say everything is equal, that means the person don't have intelligence. How everything can be equal? We are we are a personal philosophy. Every person is different, everything is different. It is not equal anytime. Equal only on a spiritual level. Everybody is spirit. But within that also there is so much variegatedness. So never is equal. And yeah, democracy is demon crazy. Democracy is also needed, but who should elect? Only the qualified Brahmana should elect who should be a Kshatriya. That should be democracy. Not that Shudras cannot elect, because their election we discussed also, it always goes down only because you have to please them. Then only you will be elected. Now there are 1,000 Shudras, 10 Brahmanas. So for every 1,000, then Shudras will elect based on what? Who will satisfy my senses? Brahmana don't elect like that. Brahmana will elect based on who is qualified, who can protect dharma. So based on that, Brahmana select. But Shudra select how much you will give me to drink and how much you will give me to eat, who will allow me to break for regulative principles, I will vote for them. That's why here democracy is, that's why it is wrong. In autocracy also, the Brahmanas used to select. They say, okay, this person is qualified, he can be king. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that Lord is proprietor of all different bodies. The individual soul is the proprietor of his individual body. Kshetra, Kshetragya. But the Lord clearly states, my dear Bharata, you must know that I am also Kshetragya, the knower or proprietor of the body. The individual soul is the proprietor of individual body, but Krishna is proprietor of all living entities, all bodies. He is the supreme proprietor. Therefore, he does not divide by protecting the different individuals. He remain one and the same. That the sun appears on the top of everyone's head when at the meridian does not imply that the sun becomes divided. One man thinks that the sun is on my head, whereas 5,000 miles away, another man thinks the sun is on my head. Similarly, the super soul, the supreme personality of God is one, but he appears in individually, uh, but he appears to individually oversee each individual soul. This does not mean that the individual soul and super soul are one. They are one in quality as spirit soul, but individual soul and super soul are different. And then Swayambhu Man says, now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you, for your lordship have very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king whose desire to protect his subjects. So this is the Brahmana's duty. They clarify what the Kshatriya should do. Why Brahmana can teach? Because he can see the whole picture. That is the advantage of a Brahmana. He does not see a narrow picture. He can see all directions, all perspectives because he is detached. That makes us things more clear. If I am attached, then I am in an emotional state. I will not use my buddhi. We need somebody who uses buddhi. Brahmana, he can use his buddhi. Mano described here with the results of seeing great saintly person. Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly persons because if one establishes a proper association with a saintly person, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. What happens is our things become very clear in life. We know what to do. Because we met Prabhupada, we all have got association of Prabhupada through his books. We met him in the book. We are so clear. What is the purpose of life? What should we do? Just so some people in one meeting only. And Prabhupada met his guru, one meeting, everything clear like that. So Prabhupada read, somehow or other, if one meets a saintly person and achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. In our personal experience, we have actually proof of this statement of Manu. Once we had the opportunity to meet Vishnupad Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj, and on first sight, he requested this humble self to preach this message in the Western countries. There was no preparation for this, but somehow or other he decided, and by his grace, we are now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation and has saved and liberated us from the occupation of material activities. So Prabhupada is so grateful. Thus, it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person completely engaged in transcendental duties and achieves his favor, then one's life mission becomes complete. What is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment if there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person. It is therefore enjoyed in Vedic literature that one should always try to associate with saintly persons and try to dissociate himself from the common man. Because by one word of a saintly person, one can be liberated from material entanglement. A saintly person has the power, because of his spiritual advancement, to give immediate liberation to the conditioned souls. Here, Manu admitted that all his doubts were now over because Kardama had very kindly described the different duties of individual souls. So, this is a very powerful thing. We are what we are associated. Karanam Gunasangasya. Whatever we associate, we become like that. If you are associating with internet and TV, movie, serial, this, that, they are person like that. News, if you are associating with Bhagavatam, Prabhupada, Hare Krishna Kirtan, then we are like that. So, whom we are associating with. So, that makes so much difference in life. And we become our association. See, three factors are there in karma. One is from the past life. One is till the age of 4, what your mother did to you, how she took care of. From the womb till 4 years age. But after that, there is still some part remaining to us. Almost everything is finished, fixed. Whatever till age of 4, whatever impressions they are going to be, you know, they are going to be manifested in the remaining part of life. Still, we have some choice. What is the choice we have? What association we take? That is the only choice we have. Only choice. That's all. 20% of our what do you say? According to Astro, 20% is in our choice. We can change. How we can change is what we associate with. If you are associating, that's all. If you have good association, we are saved. And if you get saintly association, we are most fortunate. And we are all fortunate because we got association of Prabhupada. Now also we should, within that also we should be very choosy, because we want to attain perfection. We have to be very sincere people. And we should work on developing Shastra Shraddha, not just some spirit pious entertainment. It should not be pious entertainment. And Kardamanis Drishtya me Bhagavan Drishto Durdasho Yo Kritatmana Drishtya Padaraja Sprishtam Sri Shrishna me Bhagavad Shivam. It is my good fortune that I have been able to see you, for you cannot easily be seen by persons who have not subdued the mind or controlled the senses. I am all the more fortunate to have touched with my head the blessed dust of your feet. And that is true also. What happens is the we are humbling ourselves from great personalities, immediately our heart will start getting purified. Just offering obeisances, we are offering. See, why we are stuck up here is because of our pride only. To the degree we are proud, to the degree we are not able to remember Krishna. It's completely all. Pride means we think about ourselves more. We cannot think of Krishna. So pride is reducing, our remembrance of Krishna will increase. That is the. And this is how we should develop ourselves. We have to know, why am I not able to chant the holy name? Why am I not able to hear the glories of Lord? Because I want to hear my glories. So there will be subtle pride, there is gross pride. So people may not look externally very proud, but there is certainly they are so selfish. They are thinking about themselves. They don't, and some people don't know only. They're just ignorant. So we have to help them to think about Krishna. And even though they may be materially having good qualities, but they cannot think of Krishna. So it is not possible, because they didn't get association of Vaishnava. They just go down to a Vaishnava, they can think. It's very difficult to remember Krishna whole day. Very difficult. But we can remember, we only engage in his service so that the remembrance will come. And we do sadhana. So I gave this example, like we have to make our mind flow towards Krishna. The example I gave is the skiing. The skiing, they are on the snow, they are going down on a skiing. So somebody should already make the path. Then you can go for skiing. You cannot create your own path. If you just directly go into some snow, you will end up, burying yourself in the snow. You cannot do it. You will fall down. But if already the path is there, then you can easily go the skiing. Similarly, the sadhana what we are doing, regularly we are hearing about Krishna. So it is creating some path in the thought process, our brain. So our thoughts go in that direction only. Like now, because we are hearing about this Varnashrama, Kardamuni, and marriage of Devahuti and other, whole day the thought process will go. If you have heard it very nicely, whole day the thought will be going in that direction. Slowly, we will be able to reach Krishna's lotus feet in that way. Now, Prabhupada writes very nice purport, huge purport. He says, the perfection of transcendental life can be achieved simply by touching the holy dust of the lotus feet of a holy man. Bhakta Padatuli, Bhakta Padajal, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh, Tina Mahabal. In the Bhagavatam it is said, Mat Pada Rajobhishekam, which means to be blessed by the holy dust of the lotus feet of Prahlad Maharaj is telling to his father this. What he should do? Pada Rajobhishekam. Because on your own you cannot achieve any perfection. Mat, Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu durashayaye bahirartha. So Nate vidu swartha. And he says that next shloka, I forgot. So where he says that no, on your own or by another or the combination of one. No. only by Father Rajabhishek. As stated above, Mahatma Nams, those who are great souls are under the spell of spiritual energy. And their symptom is that they fully engage in Krishna consciousness for the service of Lord. Therefore, they are called Mahat. Unless one is fortunate enough to have the dust of the lotus feet of a Mahatma on his head, there is no possibility of perfection in spiritual life. It is two-way, literally also. Taking the dust, also we hear their instructions. And Prabhupada writes here, very nice. The parampara system of disciplic succession is very important as a means of spiritual success. One becomes a Mahat by the grace of his Mahat spiritual master. If one takes shelter of the lotus feet of great soul, there is every possibility of one's becoming great soul. When Maharaj Ravgana asked Jadabar about his wonderful achievement of spiritual success, he prayed that the king that spiritual success is not possible simply by following the rules of religion or simply by converting oneself into a sannyasi or offering sacrifice as recommended in the scriptures. These methods are undoubtedly helpful for spiritual relation, but the real effect is brought about by the grace of Mahatma. So what happens is when we associate with Mahatma, they have when they speak, because their mind is at the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna's lotus feet, there are chit potency. And when the great Mahatmas they speak, the chit potency will emanate from their lotus mouth. And then that will enter into our ears, our heart will be purified. So hearing from these great souls is very much helpful. It will change our heart. And Prabhupada is giving this Vishnu Chakravarta's 8 stanzas of prayer, Sansara Davanala. It is clearly Yasya Prasadad Bhagavat Prasadad. Here the word Akritatmana is very significant. Atma means body, soul, or mind. Akritatma means a common man who cannot control the senses or mind. Because the common man is unable to control his senses and mind, it is his duty to seek shelter of great soul. Or what happens is when we take shelter of great soul, we want to help him, we want to assist him, we want to serve him. That is the only way we can come out. When we get a desire to serve a great Vaishnava, that is the only hope for us to come out of this mental world. There is no other way. Now, we may say, Prabhuji, my spiritual master is somewhere. No, I am here. Every sadhana we are doing as a service to spiritual master. Our hearing Bhagavatam, our chanting, our doing any other activity, we should do for the pleasure of spiritual master. Yasya Prasadat Bhagavan. Otherwise, there is no hope. No way. On our strength, we cannot do. I will do so much heavy sadhana. Do it for pleasure of Guru. A common man cannot rise to the topmost stage of spiritual perfection simply by following the rituals and he has to take shelter of bona fide spiritual master, work under his direction faithfully and sincerely, then he becomes perfect without a doubt. This is the formula. Yeah. Any questions, comments? Or we can start. I have fortunately been instructed by you, and thus great favor has been bestowed upon me. I thank God that I have listened with open ears to your pure words. This is very nice purport. We'll just complete this. Rupa Goswami has given direction in his Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu of how to accept a bona fide spiritual master and how to deal with him. First, the desiring candidate must find a bona fide spiritual master. Then he must very eagerly receive instructions. This is reciprocal service. A bona fide spiritual master, saintly person, always desire to elevate a common man who comes to him, because everyone is under the delusion of Maya and is forgetful of his prime duty, Krishna consciousness. A saintly person always desires that everyone becomes a saintly person. It is a function of a saintly person to invoke Krishna consciousness in every forgetful common man. Manu said that since he was advised and instructed by Kardamuni, he was very much favored. He considered himself lucky to receive the message by oral reception. And what happens is, when we hear from them, their emotions also transmit. That's why we should hear live many times. It's not just recordings. Uh, when we reading, when you hear the person live, there are advantages because he has certain emotions, feelings for Krishna. We sit in front of him, we also start getting that feeling for Krishna. That's why we should hear from pure devotees. One should receive the transcendental message by oral reception. The word karna randrai means through the holes of ear. The favor of spiritual master is not received through any other part of the body but the ears. How did your guru help you? Because he gave the instruction. This does not mean, however, that the spiritual master gives a particular type of mantra to the rear in exchange of some dollars. And if the man meditates on that, he achieves perfection and becomes God within 6 months. Such reception through the ear is bogus. The real fact is that bona fide spiritual master knows the nature of particular man and what sort of duties he can perform in Krishna conscious, and he instructs him in that way. Now, whatever instructions we are getting, we should know the Guru is giving through some our senior devotees when we are hearing from them. We should know these are the instructions that I am receiving from my Guru because this is what I needed now. If we are sincere, then we can receive instead. Like Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta says Thakur, he left this world. And then one postman he says to Prabhupada, why don't you, instead of writing magazine, why don't you write books? Prabhupada says, my guru is speaking through him. That means he is able to take. So when we are very sincere, we can receive instructions of guru. Even though he may not be there, but we can identify, yes, this is the instruction my guru is telling, I should follow this. We will get in Bhagavatam classes, we are hearing regularly, we can get the instructions of our guru in that. And he instruct him through ear, not privately but publicly. You are fit for such and such work in Krishna conscious. You can act in this way. One person is advised to act in Krishna conscious by working in the deity's room. Another is advised to act in Krishna conscious by performing editorial work. Another is advised to do preaching work, and another is advised to carry out Krishna conscious in cooking department. There are different departments of activity in Krishna conscious, and spiritual master, knowing the particular ability of particular man, trains him in such a way that his tendency to act becomes perfect. So it's not that which service we are doing. Whatever talent we have, it should be engaged in Krishna's service. That is a perfection. I can teach, I will teach. Whole life teaching. Somebody can cook for Lord, whole life he can cook and perfect in that. Somebody can do some book distribution. Whatever we are good at, editorial work, Prabhupada giving, anything we are good at, Krishna is not seeing what you are doing. Krishna is seeing with what consciousness we are doing. That is what is Krishna wants. Krishna wants our heart. He don't want the result. He can create so many things. If he says he want to make a temple, how much time it will take for Krishna to make a temple? You just have to desire it, a temple. But if I have a talent to make a temple, so let me construct a temple for Krishna. If I have a talent to write books glorifying Krishna, let me do it. If I have talent to speak about Krishna and help others to understand, let me do it. So, and I should do adding what? Devotion in it. That is the main criteria. It's not the activity. I should add devotion to it. Krishna is telling Patram Pushpam Valam Tvam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Give with devotion. I say, oh, it is very difficult. Okay, whatever you do, give it to me. The Etkaro se dasna se the Krishna is, whatever you are doing, you give it to me. But that is easy. But the first one, when Krishna is telling Patram Pushpam Valam Tvam, one leaf, one flower, one fruit, little water. But he is telling, do it with devotion. And then he says, Ashnami. He promises that I'll accept also. But in next shloka, when he says, Yat karosh, whatever you are doing, whatever you are eating, whatever you are doing it for me. But Krishna is not guaranteeing that he will accept it. He's telling, do it. You do everything for me then. Because what is difficult is to give with love is very difficult. To put consciousness and do the activity is difficult. We may do the activity, but by Krishna consciousness, why it is sometimes difficult is, actually it is difficult because to be conscious is difficult all the time. I should be always, for Krishna, He is ready to come and stay in our house. But what is the requirement for Krishna? We should be very conscious, very loving, very caring, and with so much love and devotion, we should offer everything to him. Then he is ready to always stay. Otherwise, he is saying, okay, they don't want me. So Krishna is little. Uh, he want to stay, but the price is that we should be always conscious. We should always. So here, uh, it is not by any of these things Krishna is coming. He want our heart. He is. And Arjuna offered his service fully as a military man, and he became perfect. Similarly, an artist can attain perfection simply by performing artistic work under the direction of spiritual master. If one is a literary man, he can write articles and poetry for the service of the Lord under the direction of spiritual master. One has to receive the message of spiritual master regarding how to act in one's capacity. Further, spiritual master is expert in giving such instructions. So that is the point. We have to act and according to the guidance. It's not what we are doing. Whatever we are good at it, we can do it, but with devotion. This combination, the instruction of spiritual master and the faithful execution of the instructions by the disciple, make the entire process perfect. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti discussed in explanation for the verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, that one who wants to be certain to achieve spiritual success must take the instructions from the spiritual master as to what his particular function is. He should faithfully try to execute that particular instruction and should consider that his life and soul. That means whatever I get, it's mine. We have to put full our heart and do. If you are cooking for Lord, put your heart and cook. If you are want to teach, we should put heart and teach. Any activity, we should put our heart and do it. That is the most important thing. People are doing, but here, what is Vyavasaya thing of the means? One who want to achieve certain spiritual success must take the instructions of spiritual master as to what his particular function. He should faithfully try to execute, and the particular and should consider that his life and soul. Life and soul means we are putting our heart and doing it. The faithful execution of the instruction which he received from spiritual master is the only duty of disciple. That's all. No need to do anything else. So simple. And that will bring him perfection. Finish. You put your heart and do cooking, serving, whatever little bit for Krishna with our heart. Perfection. One should be very careful to receive the message from the spiritual master through the ears and execute it faithfully. That will make one's life successful. Okay. Any questions? There is one question in chat box. I got one point to today's lesson. What we do, we should be selfless. What we expecting anything, that's the main quality of a Brahmana. So without expecting anything, that's the main quality of Brahmana. And what get to us is by our karma, and it is given by the Lord only. Yes. We shall prove. Thank you. Okay. Any questions, comments? We'll end here. Thank you all very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.